All right, good afternoon everyone. For those na kapapasok lang, no, pa-rename po, no, rename kayo. So our name convention, makikita nyo sa chat natin, sa may chat section. So ang format is section, then dash last name, comma first name. All right, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to the second episode of our research colloquium. So at this particular point, we are going to discuss statistical tests for relationship, no? So last time, kung naalala ninyo, we have discussed how to organize the data, no? How to encode the data. Okay? So once you have encoded your data, the next thing that you may do, no, or you may do is to analyze your data. So at this particular point, we're going to have the data analysis, no? So mag-a-analyze na tayo ng data, but this episode will be tackling specific data analysis, no? Magfo-focus lang tayo sa tinatawag nating test of relationship, okay? So tests for relationship. So for today's session, we are going to discuss, no, hypothesis in research, no? Yun yung first sa ating agenda. The second one is inferential statistics for testing relationship. And then the third one is the process of hypothesis testing. Okay? So before we proceed, I want you to scan the QR code. Kagaya last time, ma-access ninyo yung mga data set na meron tayo here or gagamitin natin for this session. Pa-prepare na rin ng inyong mga laptop, mga desktop, okay? And yung inyong Jamovie, no? Kasi gagamitin natin mamaya, later, for the process of hypothesis testing. Okay? So you may scan na the QR code, you may take a screenshot, pwede rin screenshot or picturean ninyo para later on, pag nasa process na tayo ng hypothesis testing ay ma-access ninyo yung mga dataset na gagamitin natin. Okay? Okay. So I think we can start. So once again, good afternoon and welcome to the second episode of our research colloquium. So we are going to start with our first agenda. So we are going to discuss the hypothesis in research. Okay? So this is just a recall. I know na discuss na to nung PR2 natin nung nakaraang SEM, but for us to be able to understand the hypothesis testing, we have to discuss first what is hypothesis or what is hypothesis in research. Okay? So when say hypothesis or hypothesis testing, it is a statistical method used to make decisions or inferences about a population based on a sample size. So in order for us to answer our question, no, our research questions or statement of the problem, we have to undergo what do we call hypothesis testing. Okay? So naalala niyo, no, na sa research we are not capable to gather data, to gather data or gather the entire population data, no? Kailangan natin kumuha ng sample. So in order for us to make decisions or make inferences about our sample or about population, no, with a given sample or given sample size na meron kayo with your research, we have to use the inferential statistics, no, and yun yung gagamitin natin for our hypothesis testing. Okay, so in hypothesis testing, researchers assess whether an observed effect or relationship in data is statistically significant. So ito na dito na papasok yung ating statement of the problem or research question, no? We asked before, is there a significant relationship? Is there a significant effect? Is there a significant difference? So in order for us to answer those questions, we have to do a hypothesis testing. Okay? So ano ba yung hypothesis? Ano ba yung hypothesis specifically, no, doing hypothesis testing? So we have to define first what is hypothesis. So when you say hypothesis, it states our predictions or assumptions about what our objective will find, no? It is a tentative answer to our question that has not yet been tested. Okay? So when you say hypothesis, these are uh, predictions, no, or let's say assumptions. So ibig sabihin, sa una pa lang or sa simula pa lang, mag-a-assume na tayo ng results, no? Tentative answer nga kung tawagin ng iba, no? Tentative answer dun sa question na meron tayo. Okay? So there are several hypotheses na ginagamit, no, sa pagre-research. Actually, kung familiar kayo, we have na-discuss na nga to last time. We have what do we call null and alternative hypothesis. But at this particular point, no, magfo-focus lang tayo sa tinatawag nating null hypothesis or H sub 0 or H sub O. Okay? So in say null hypothesis, it represents the default or baseline assumption statistical testing. Kumbaga, ito yung pinaka hindi biased na paraan, no, non-biased way to make assumption, to assume several results, no? So paano ba ini-state ang null hypothesis, no? So when you say null hypothesis, it states that there is no, no, palaging there is no, kaya nga siya null. Okay, there is no effect, no difference, or no statistical relationship or significant relationship between variables. Okay, so example of that, the new drug has no significant effect on blood pressure compared to placebo. So ganito ini-state yung null hypothesis. So in order for us to do hypothesis testing, kailangan ma-identify muna natin ano ba yung null hypothesis sa study natin. Okay? So yun yung unang step, no, na kailangan nating gawin. We have to identify first what is the null hypothesis of our study. So in order for us to identify the null hypothesis, no, we have to make sure na we know how to develop or how to create a null hypothesis, no, how to write null hypothesis. So yung pinaka-basic na method, okay, lagi siyang nag-i-start sa there is no, take note on that. Laging nagsisimula sa there is no. And then kung ano yung objective ninyo with your study. So there is no, for example, there is no significant, then yung objective ninyo, relationship ba, effect, difference between groups. No? So for an example here, there is no significant relationship between variable 1 and the second variable or variable 2. Okay? So paano ba tayo makakagawa or makagagawa ng null hypothesis? Okay? So ang pinaka-basis natin to create or develop null hypothesis, we have to be to look for our statement of the problem. So pansinin niyo yung last statement of the problem natin, we are asking na, is there significant, no? So depende yan sa objective ng study ninyo. If your study or if the objective of your study asking for relationship, no? So I think your question has to start with, is there a significant relationship? Kung effect naman, it should start with, is there a significant effect? Kung difference naman, is magsisimula yan sa is there a significant difference. Okay? So punta kayo doon sa last statement of the problem ninyo. Ang gagawin lang natin, mag-a-assume tayo ng result. Gagawin lang natin tong statement, no, yung question na to. So para tayong magbibigay na, no, ng sagot dun sa question. But kagaya ng sabi natin kanina, pag null hypothesis, it has to be started always with there is no significant relationship. No? There is no significant difference or there is no significant effect. So sa case natin ngayon, balikan natin, our statement of the problem here is there a significant relationship between internet addiction and the academic performance of grade 12 students at FEU Alabang. So in order for us to develop the null hypothesis, gagawin lang natin siyang statement, but it has to be started with there is no, there is no significant. So yeah, there is no significant relationship and so on and so forth. So for the second example we have here, is there a significant effect? SOP ito, no? Statement of the problem or our research questions. There is significant effect of watching anime on the BMI of the teachers at Alabang Elementary School. So, gagawin natin siyang statement in format. It has to be started with there is no para siya maging null hypothesis. So for the null hypothesis, we have there is no significant effect of watching anime on the BMI of the teachers at Alabang Elementary School. Okay? So ito yung unang step na kailangan nating identify. Kailangan muna nating malaman ano ba yung null hypothesis or hypothesis, no, kung marami sa study natin. Kasi pwede siyang marami, depende sa objective ng study ninyo. Okay? Pwedeng isa lang, pwedeng dalawa, pwedeng tatlo, or pwedeng higit pa. No? Okay? So that's the first step. Once again, now kung na-identify nyo na yung null hypothesis sa study ninyo, or null hypothesis sa study ninyo, the next thing that we are going to do is to identify what tests are we going to use. Anong test ba yung gagamitin natin? Okay, so at this particular point, we are going to focus with test of relationship. Okay, tests of relationship. And when you say tests of relationship, it answers, of course, syempre, no, the question asking for, is there a significant relationship? Or for null hypothesis, it starts with, there is no significant relationship. No, pwede rin siyang, there is no significant association, there is no significant correlation, there is no significant linkage. No? So yun yung mga term or mga null hypothesis na pwedeng gamitan ng tests of relationship. Okay? So ulitin natin, there is no significant relationship, there is no significant correlation, there is no significant association. So yun yung mga words na ginagamit to test relationship. Okay? So identify natin ano bang gagamitin natin, no? What are we going to use specifically inferential statistics, no, para sagutin or para alamin kung totoo, no, yung ating null hypothesis. So we have lists here. What are you going to do is to identify, no, first yung variable ninyo. Naalala ninyo yung klase ng variable or yung level of measurement ng variable. Okay? So with our case, we have two variables most likely kapag nagtetest tayo ng hypothesis. So first, what if we have two continuous variables or we are testing significant relationship between two continuous variables? Okay, so with that, we are going to use Pearson R if mag-normal yung data. Naalala niyo last week, no, nung nagdi-discuss tayo with the normality, kapag napatunayan natin na normal yung data, we have to use the parametric test. And at this particular point, no, parehas continuous yung variable. Kapag napatunayan natin na nag-normal yung parehas na variables na yon, we have to use the Pearson R. Okay? Kapag hindi naman nag-normal, we have to take note on that. No? Kapag hindi nag-normal, we have to use the non-parametric counterpart or non-parametric test, which is Spearman's law. Okay? So example of that, no, example of null hypothesis, there is no significant relationship between students' study time and their exam scores. So kung ma-observe niyo, we have two variables here. Tama ba? Dalawang variables. The first variable is the study time, the study time, no? And then the second variable is the exam scores. Yan. And then both of them, pareha silang continuous variables. Okay? So, yon. So, sa case ninyo, kung parehas continuous variable yung tinetest ninyong relationship, ito rin yung gagamitin ninyo. Okay? Examples or some examples of null hypothesis na gagamitan ng Pearson R or Spearman's law. Okay? So, there is no significant relationship between daily exercise duration, no, continuous yan, and blood pressure, continuous din. Okay? So, yun yung assumption natin para magamitan natin sila ng Pearson R or Spearman's law. The second one is there is no significant relationship between internet speed, continuous, and user satisfaction ratings, continuous din. Okay? So, kapag continuous parehas yung variables na tinetest natin, no, we have to use, once again, Pearson R kapag nag-normal yung data and Spearman's law naman kapag hindi nag-normal yung data. Okay? So what if naman our variables or the variables involved in the study ay parehas nominal, no? Parehas nominal yung variable, parehas silang categorical lang nature and walang level or walang hierarchy, pantay lang, no? So with that, we are going to use what do we call the chi-square test of independence, no? Chi-square test of independence. Meron tayo tinatawag na post hoc test, no? Ano po yung post hoc test? Yun yung ginagamit natin kapag napatunayan natin na meron significant relationship or may significance yung result. Okay? So, again, we have to use post hoc test. Ito yun yung nasa baba. We have to use phi coefficient kapag yung variable natin ay meron lang tig-dalawang categories. Okay? Meron lang silang dalawang categories. So mamaya mabibigay tayo ng example. And Cramer's V naman kapag lumagpas na sa dalawa yung categories ng variables na meron tayo. Okay? So post hoc test lang sila, ibig sabihin, gagamitin lang natin sila kung makikitaan natin ng significance yung result. Okay? Pero kung wala, we're not going to use those post hoc tests. Okay? So examples of that, there is no significant relationship between smoking status. Smoking status is categorical, nominal yan. Smoker versus non-smoker, and incidence of lung disease, yes or no, no? Dichotomous ang tawag sa kanya, or dichotomous variables. So with that, we are going to use the chi-square test, no? But kung lumabas na merong significant relationship between these variables, we have to run a post hoc test which is the phi coefficient. Okay? So sa second example natin, we have there is no significant relationship between students' gender, categorical, nominal din, and their preferred learning style, categorical and nominal din. No? So kung makitaan natin ng relationship, pagkatapos nating i-run yung chi-square test, gagamitan natin ng Cramer's V, no, para malaman kung ano yung strength and direction ng relationship. Mamaya i-discuss natin sila ulit isa-isa. Okay. Basta we have to take note lang, no, ano bang gagamitin nating test, no? Depende sa objective natin, test of relationship, no? Is there a significant relationship ba yung question? And anong mga variables yung involved? Anong level of measurement ng mga variables na involved? Okay? Okay. So what if naman our variables or yung mga variables na meron tayo, isang categorical tapos isang continuous, no? What are we going to use? So kapag nakita natin na yung categorical variables or categorical variable, no, ay merong dalawang categories, dalawa lang, dichotomous, no? Kagaya ng example natin kanina, either yes or no, either male or female, no? Either pass or failed, no? Something like those. We have to use what do we call point by serial correlation. Okay? Point by serial correlation. Pero kung yung categorical variable natin ay merong 3 or more categories, no? Lumagpas na sa dalawa yung categories niya. Okay? So we have to use what do we call eta coefficient. Okay? So ginagamit yung dalawang to if categorical yung isang variable and continuous naman yung kabilang variable. Relationship between categorical and continuous variables. Okay? So let us have example. Example number 1, there is no significant relationship between students' preferred mode of learning, no? Yun yung categorical variable niya. Kung na-observe nyo, categorical variable yan. So, pwede siyang online, hybrid, or in-person. So, tatlong categories yun, no? Ayan. Dahil tatlong categories sila, with this null hypothesis, what are we going to use is eta coefficient. Nabaliktad lang ako ng lagay. Ayan, sorry. Nabaliktad tayo ng lagay. Dito sa ibabaw, it should be eta coefficient. I-cross natin. Ayan. So here we have to use the eta. Ayan. Tapos dito sa kabila, yung point by serial. We have to use the point by serial. Okay? O, recall tayo. Dun sa unang null hypothesis, ma-observe natin na yung categorical variable natin ay merong tatlong categories. No? Mode of learning, we have 3 categories. We have online, hybrid, and in-person. Okay? So, tatlong categories. With that, we are going to use the eta coefficient. Dun sa pangalawa, yung unang variable natin, we have sex. Male and female lang yan. And then, yung second variable natin ay continuous. Okay? So with this, we are going to use the point by serial. Kasi dalawa lang yung categories ng categorical variable natin, male or female. Okay? So yan. You have to, ano lang, no? Siguro pag nagno-note kayo, nabaliktad lang tayo ng lagay. So, cross out natin to. Eta coefficient dito sa taas and point by serial dito sa second example. Okay? So what if naman our variables or the variables involved sa study natin ay parehas ordinal, no? Parehas silang ordinal. So with this, we are going to use what do we call Kendall's tau. No, Kendall's tau po ang gagamitin natin. Example of that, there is no significant relationship between students' class rank, ordinal yan, no? Categorical in nature pero may level siya, may hierarchy. And their level of participation in extracurricular activities. Level, meaning ordinal din ito. Okay? So other examples, we have there is no significant relationship between socioeconomic status, low, middle, high, no, ordinal, and political engagement level, low, moderate, or high, ordinal then. So with that, you are going to use Kendall's tau. Okay. Another one, there is no significant relationship between air pollution index, no, ordinal, level of air pollution index, and public health risk levels, ordinal. Okay? Okay. So sana na-take note natin lahat ng statistical test, no, or tests for relationship. Okay. So in order for us to identify what are we going to use, what are we going to use dun sa demonstration natin, I want you to answer the survey, no? A pre-survey. Sige, tignan natin. Please scan the QR code. Dadaling kayo dito sa Mentimeter. So what we're going to do is to answer the survey. It starts with the title and then may mga susunod preceding question. Sige. Okay, where are you? Yan. I think dito tayo sa Mentimeter. Okay, so ayan. So may mga nag-input na ng mga research title, no? Okay, dun sa mga hindi pa nakakapag-input, pwede pa kayong mag-input. Please type in your research title. So most of us here ay relationship, no? Relationship. We have relationship, correlation. Okay. Okay, so let us now proceed to the second question. What test are you going to use for your research? Are you going to use test of relationship or test of difference? So ayun, may test of difference. Especially for those who are going to do an experiment, no? Most of you, gagamit kayo ng test of difference. Halimbawa, yung is there significant effect? Di ba test of difference yon between pre-test and post-test? Okay, so 45 out of 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Okay. So majority talaga gagamit ng test of relationship, no? So let's test, no? Let's check kung alam na ninyo, you are fully aware kung anong statistical test ang gagamitin niyo under test of relationship. So let us now move to the third question. What specific test of relationship are you going to use? Now, for those who will be using statistical test of relationship. Para dun sa mga difference, you may answer the NA, yung NAV section. So majority of you ay Pearson. Okay, majority Pearson. Pearson or Spearman, no? Hindi pa natin kasi alam yan eh. Kung wala pa tayong data, hindi pa natin ma-identify kung ano yung gagamitin natin, whether Pearson ba or Spearman. Kasi we have to test first the normality, di ba? Okay, majority Pearson or Spearman. The next is chi-square. Then third is Kendall's tau. Okay. Sige. Tuloy lang sa pag-rate, I mean, tuloy lang sa pag-answer ng survey, especially do sa mga hindi pa i-input. Okay, while completing the survey, let us now proceed or continue the discussion on hypothesis testing. Wait lang. Yeah. All right. So let us now continue our discussion with the hypothesis testing. So at this particular point, we are going to have a demonstration on how to analyze the data, no? Using Jamovi. Okay, so kung may mga laptop kayo with you, may mga desktop kayo, pa-switch on na, no? Pa-turn on ng inyong mga devices. Pabukas na rin ng mga Jamovi, no? So because what are we going to use here is Jamovi, and doon sa pinakaumpisa kanina, merong QR code tayong flinash. Scan the QR code para ma-access ninyo yung Google Drive, no? Ma-download yung mga dataset, raw data na gagamitin natin for this discussion. Okay? Okay. So let us now begin with the introduction to hypothesis testing. We are not going to have the structured hypothesis testing, no, kasi hindi naman to statistic class. But we are going to make it more simple or simpler. More simple, no? Ano bang kailangan natin kapag or mag-hypothesis testing tayo? The first thing that you are going to identify is the null hypothesis. Okay, kagaya ng discuss natin kanina. Kailangan alam natin ano ba yung null hypothesis sa study natin. That's the first one. Okay. The second one is the alpha level. No, kung mare-recall ninyo sa computation ng Slovin's formula, we have what we call there error level, no? So yung error level is also equivalent to the alpha level, iba lang yung tawag, pero same lang yun. Okay? Iba lang ng context kasi, no? Sa sampling method kasi siya ginagamit. So error level yung tawag sa kanya dun sa Slovin's. Pero here, sa hypothesis testing, we are going to call this one as an alpha level. Okay? So alpha level, technically, we have to use 0.05, especially for those na nasa non-STEM, no? Non-STEM research, or hindi gagamit ng experimental research design. Pero for those experimental research, you may ask your instructor, your research teachers, or your advisor kung anong alpha level ang gagamitin ninyo with your study. Okay? Pero doon sa mga non-STEM, mga observational research, mga survey research, no, we have to stick with the 0.05 standard or 5% alpha level. Okay? So, yun talaga yung gagamitin natin. Okay? So, before we start with hypothesis testing or analyzing our data, we have to understand first, paano ba ini-interpret yung result? Okay? So, once meron ng result, you have to look for what do we call the p-value. Yun yung una nating titignan. Yung p-value kasi yung magsasabi sa atin whether there is a statistical significance, no, meron bang relationship or meron or wala bang relationship. Okay? So yung p-value na yan, yung magsasabi sa atin anong result ng statistical analysis na ginawa natin. So if p-value is less than our alpha level, take note, no, kasi ito rin yung gagamitin natin for test of difference sa susunod nating episode. So you have to take note on this. Kahit yung mga test of difference ang gagamitin. So again, if p-value is less than our alpha level, kung ano man yung alpha level na gagamitin ninyo, we have to reject the null hypothesis. Okay? So reject null hypothesis. If p-value naman is greater than 0.05 or our alpha level, fail to reject null hypothesis. Okay? So ulit, if p-value is less than 0.05, take note natin yan. Kasi nga yung alpha level natin is equivalent to 5%, no? 0.05. We have to reject null hypothesis. Ngayon, paano ngayon yung result nito or paano yung pinaka-conclusion? No, yung null hypothesis natin states there is no. Kung naalala nyo kanina, no? There is no. Ang hirap pala mag-annotate dito. There is no. Paano po if the p-value is less than 0.05? Sabi, we have to reject. No, ibig sabihin, we have to claim that our null hypothesis is not true. Something like that, no? So, we have to reject the null hypothesis. So, anong gagawin natin? Meaning, the result here is there is, magiging there is siya. Okay? So, if p-value is less than 0.05, meaning the result is there is. Okay? Kasi nga reject null hypothesis. So for this one, there is a magiging result. Tapos sa p-value naman is greater than 0.05, dito pa lang yung magiging result na there is no. Okay? There is no. Yan. So again, if p-value is less than 0.05, we have to reject the null hypothesis. You have to take note din kung ano yung p-value ninyo, ha? Kasi pwedeng magbago dun sa mga experimental research. Okay? So sa case ng mga non-STEM researches, stick tayo sa 0.05 again. So if p-value is less than with your alpha value, you have to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, the result states that there is significant relationship. If p-value naman or otherwise greater than 0.05, fail to reject null hypothesis, the result states that there is no significant relationship. Okay? Okay. After natin makita yung p-value, the next thing that we are going to look for is the correlation coefficient. Okay? Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient daw ranges from -1 to 1. Okay? So, eto lang yan. -1 to 1. Kung lalagpas yung correlation coefficient dito sa threshold na to, parang may mali sa computation niyo, no? Or parang may error with your computation. So you have to take note na ang correlation coefficient ay nag-range lang from -1 to 1. And ito yung mga interpretation natin for those values na makukuha ninyo. No, pwede nyo screenshot or pwede nyo i-take note itong part na to. So with -1, we have very strong negative correlation. Take note on that. Very strong negative correlation or sa ibang reference ay perfect negative correlation. Perfect negative correlation. Okay? Between -1 or between -1 or less than -1, no? Or greater than, sorry, greater than -1 to -0.6. So, ang interpretation natin dyan is we have strong negative correlation or strong negative relationship, no? Greater than -0.6 and less than -0.4 naman, we have moderate negative correlation. Yan. Between -0.4 and 0, no, less than 0, we have weak naman. Weak negative correlation. And pag 0 yung nakuha natin, we can say or we can conclude that the relationship or there is no talaga. There is no correlation between our variables. Between 0 or greater than 0 to 0.4, no, less than 0.4, we have weak positive correlation. Greater than 0.4 to 0.6, we have moderate positive correlation. And greater than 0.6 to 1 or less than 1, okay, we have strong positive correlation. And pag 1, we have what do we call perfect positive relationship or perfect positive correlation. Okay? So take note lang muna natin, no? Ano ba kasi yung mga yan? Ano yung strong and ano yung negative? Okay? When you say correlation coefficient kasi, it measures strength and direction ng relationship ng dalawang variables na meron tayo. So, yung sinasabi natin na strong positive, yung strong ay para sa strength, no? Yung strong or weak, okay? Yung positive naman, it states the direction of the relationship. Positive ba siya? Pag positive ay ganito yung direction, and then pag negative naman ay ganito yung direction. Okay? So pag sinabi nating strong, no? Stronger ang relationship, meaning yung dataset natin or yung mga respondents natin ay magkakalapit along the line. No? Dikit sila dun sa line na na-form ng correlation coefficient or correlational analysis natin, no? So, kung mapapansin niyo or ma-observe niyo, pag strong ang relationship, mas magkakadikit along the line yung data. Okay? Unlike sa weak, no, na magkakalayo yung data set or data points natin along with the line. No, kumbaga hindi ganoon ka-strong yung relationship, no, kaya nga weak eh. Kumbaga yung strength ng relationship ay hindi ganoon ka-strong kasi nga magkakalayo yung data points natin along with line na form natin dito sa correlation. Okay? Yung positive naman, it states the direction of the relationship. When you say positive, meaning kapag tumaas yung isang variable, tumataas din yung isang variable. No? Example natin dito, for example, no, ang tinetest natin ay kung meron bang relationship yung daily allowance ng student sa grades niya. May relationship ba yung allowance sa grades? So pag nakita natin na positive yung relationship, meaning kapag tumaas yung isang variable, tumaas yung value ng isang variable, tataas din yung value ng kabilang variable. So ibig sabihin, kung tataas yung daily allowance, meaning tataas din yung kanyang grades, no? Ganun yung ibig sabihin ng positive relationship. Kapag negative naman, meaning pag ano naman siya, no? Kapag tumaas yung isang variable, yung kabilang variable naman ay bababa. So sa context ng baon, ng allowance sa grades, no? Kapag tumaas yung allowance, bababa yung grades or nababa yung grades. Kapag negative ang correlation, no? Or vice versa. Kapag bumaba naman yung allowance, tataas naman yung grades. Ganun ang sinasabi kapag negative ang correlation. Okay? And last is kapag no correlation, ibig sabihin, itong part na to, kapag no correlation or zero yung value ng correlation coefficient natin, makikita na wala talagang mako-form na line, no? Along with the data set that we have. Okay? So wala ka talagang mako-form na line kasi very scattered yung data na meron tayo. Okay? So again, we have the strength and direction. Yun naman yung minimeasure ng correlation coefficient. Okay? So ulitin natin, may dalawa tayong kailangan tignan. in order for us to interpret the results of our hypothesis testing. First is what do we call the p-value? No, it identifies kung may relationship, may significant relationship or wala. And then the second one is the correlation coefficient. No, it measures the strength and direction naman of our relationship or the relationship between variables. Okay, so let us have an example of hypothesis testing. Let us start with this one. Ay, sorry. Napakita ko na. So, we have hypothesis here. There is no significant, null hypothesis ito, no? There is no significant relationship between senior high school students' study hours and exam scores with a given alpha value of, or alpha level of 0.05 or 5%. Can you please identify what statistical test, no, specifically test of relationship, are we going to use to test this hypothesis? Okay. What statistical test are we going to use? Anyone from the chat box? Tingnan nga natin. Anong statistical tests ang gagamitin natin or anong statistical test, specifically test of relationship, no? Ang gagamitin natin to test this hypothesis. Okay. Anyone sa chat box? Point by serial. Okay. Very good guess. But if you're going to use point by serial, we have to make sure na isa sa mga variable natin dapat ay categorical, no? At dalawa lang ang categories niya. So sa case natin, ang variables natin dito, i-annotate natin. Ang variable natin dito ay study hours and exam scores. And both of them ay parehas ano? Continuous, no? So with this, we are going to use, okay, we have an answer here, Pearson R or Spearman's law. Very good. Pearson or Spearman's. We have to identify lang muna kung ano yung dataset natin. Normally distributed ba or hindi siya normal. So with that, we're going to do a hypothesis testing using Jamovi. So magre-run na tayo ng statistical analysis. Okay. So, screenshot niyo yung ano para ma-recall natin habang nagte-test tayo ng statistical analysis. So, ang hypothesis natin is there is no significant relationship between study hours and exam scores. Okay, let us now go to our Jamovi. Okay. So, we have, para dun ulit no, sa mga bago sa Jamovi. So, pag in-open niyo yung Jamovi, we have actually two panels na, may two panels kayong mag-view. The first panel is for the data. No, the data set. Ito yung nasa right side. Nasa left side, sorry. Left side. Yung nasa right side naman, dito lalabas yung mga analysis na ipe-perform natin later on. Okay? And we are going to have, we will be having a third panel if magre-rename tayo ng mga variable. No? So ito, lalabas yung third panel. So for the first column, we have the respondent number. Kagaya ng diniscuss natin last week. No? Naglalagay tayo ng respondent number for the first column. Then for the second column, we have study hours kasi yun yung hypothesis natin kanina kung naalala ninyo. And we also have the exam scores. Okay? So the first thing that we are going to analyze here is what? Anong una nating i-run? Are we going to run Pearson R ba agad? Or Spearman's Law? Anong una nating i-run? Okay, anyone? Chat box. Anong una nating ipe-perform? Anong test ang una nating ipe-perform? Are we going to perform Pearson R ba agad? Or Spearman's Law? Okay, very good. We are going to test first the normality. Iti-test muna natin yung normality, no? Since we have 30 respondents, kagaya ng discussion natin last time, we are going to use what test? Anong test ang gagamitin natin to test the normality? Sige nga, anyone from the chat box, bumibilis yung mga ano natin, mga response natin. Anong test of normality ang gagamitin natin? Yun, bumagal. Bumagal na yung chat box. 30 respondents ang meron tayo. Anong gagamitin nating test of normality? Anyone? Hirap kasi ng spelling nun. Anyone? Dalawa lang naman yun, di ba? So, alin doon ang gagamitin natin? Anong test ang gagamitin natin? Anong test of normality ang gagamitin natin? If we have 30 respondents. Okay, very good. Shapiro-Wilk. May response na tayo from the chat box. We are going to use Shapiro-Wilk, no? Kasi nga, 30 lang yung respondents natin at less than 50 siya. Okay? Okay. So, ang gagawin natin, ipe-perform na natin yung Shapiro-Wilk, punta sa analysis, and then we have exploration. Nagawa na natin to last time. Descriptives. Then ipapasok natin yung mga variables na involved. Yung ite-test na yung gagamitin natin to test the relationship, no. Yung study hours and exam scores ipapasok natin dito sa variables. And then click statistics. I-check yung Shapiro-Wilk, no, or yung normality test. So kung ma-observe ninyo, the p-value here is greater than 0.05. Alala nyo yun, no? Pag mas mataas sa 0.05, meaning our data is what? Normally distributed or not? Sige nga, review tayo. Yes or no lang? Normally distributed, yes or no? Yes, sa chat box. Our p-value is greater than 0.05. Can we consider the data here normally distributed? Yes or no? Okay, very good. Normally distributed, no? Kasi mas mataas siya sa 0.05. Meaning, kung normally distributed, ano ang gagamitin natin? Pearson R or Spearman's Rho? Very good. Pearson's R po or Pearson R ang gagamitin natin. Okay? So para naman sa Pearson R, proceed tayo. Punta ulit sa analysis. Analysis po. Tapos, punta sa regression. Yung nasa baba niya lang, no? Regression. We have here correlation matrix, yung pinakaunang option. Correlation matrix. Check lang yan. Okay? And then makikita nyo dito sa analysis part or sa analysis panel na may input ulit tayo na variable. Anong mga variable ang ilalagay natin? Ulit ko ano yung mga variable na involved, no? So sa case natin, we have study hours and exam score. Pasok lang natin sila parehas. Then, i-check yung Pearson. Make sure na naka-check yung Pearson. Correlated tayo, no? Correlated. And we have to check the report significance, no? Kung gusto niyo ng extra mga details like kung ilan yung participants, you may check yung N, no? N is the number of participants, kung naalala niyo. Okay? So make sure lang na naka-report yung significance and naka-check yung Pearson. Okay, lalabas ang value. Anong value nga yung kailangan natin? So first is the p-value here, the p-value. And the second is the correlation coefficient, yung Pearson R value. Okay? Okay. So let us now go back to analyzing or interpreting the results, no? So yan, balik tayo. So if we're going to get the result, eto siya. Ayan. Ito siya, no? So in-screenshot natin yung result. Makikita natin na we have the p-value. Yun yung una nating titignan. Naalala kanina? P-value. Since p-value is less than 0.001, no? And kung makikita natin, less than 0.05 din siya, or less than our alpha value, no? Kung ano man yung alpha value na gagamitin nyo or alpha level. Okay? Since the p-value is less than 0.05, we have to reject null hypothesis. And we have here, ayun, mali na naman tayo. We have here 0.979. No, ano dapat ito? Ano ang interpretation natin dito? So hindi dapat siya moderate, no? Hindi moderate negative. It should be what? Strong positive. Very good po. That's yung nag-answer. So we have strong, take note na lang, no? Strong positive. Yan. So we have strong positive correlation between what? Between study hours and exam scores of the students. Ibig sabihin, kagaya ng context natin kanina, kapag tumaas yung isang variable, tataas din yung kabilang variable. Ibig sabihin, pag natulog sila, no? Pag mahaba yung, natulog. Nag-aral sila, mas mahaba yung oras na ginugugol nila sa pag-aaral, mas tumataas din yung kanilang score sa exam. Okay? So that's the implication of this result, or our conclusion for this particular result. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, merong significant relationship, kasi nga reject null hypothesis, there is yan, no? There is. So, there is. Bakit naman ang hirap naman? So, there is significant relationship and meron siyang strong positive correlation between variables. Okay? Okay. So, let us now move to the second example we have here. There is no significant relationship between parent stress score and sleep hours with a given alpha level 0.05. So, anong statistical test ang gagamitin natin with this? Anyone? Anong statistical test ang gagamitin natin? What specific statistical tests are we going to use here? Anyone from the chat box? Identify mo na variable, no? Variable here, we have stress score, ayan, and sleep hours. Anong statistical test ang gagamitin natin? Anyone? Anyone? What statistical test are we going to use here? Given na ang variable natin ay stress score and sleep hours. Sige, hula lang, okay lang. Walang masama humula. Anyone from the chat box? Anong statistical test ang gagamitin natin to test this hypothesis? Is it Pearson? Okay, Pearson? No? Pearson or Spearman? Very good. Bakit? Kasi nga parehas continuous variable yung involved. We have stress score and sleep hours. Okay, so with this, we are going to use Pearson R. So balik tayo sa Pearson R or Spearman's. No? So balik tayo with the data. So lang natin yung dataset natin. We have the stress score and sleep hours. Para dun sa mga nag-navigate din, no, pagpunta nyo dun sa Google Drive, ang file name po nung second example natin ay example 2. For example number 2. Stress scores and sleep hours. Okay? So let us now navigate to Jamovie and perform necessary tests. So kagaya kanina, kailangan muna natin i-test yung normality. Punta tayo sa exploration. Descriptives again. Ipasok natin yung variables na iti-test natin yung normality. Statistics. And check Shapiro-Wilk. Since we have 30 respondents here, no? So ma-observe natin na yung isa sa mga variable natin ay hindi normally distributed, no? Bakit? Kasi yung p-value ng Shapiro-Wilk niya is less than 0.05. Okay? So kita naman natin. So anong gagamitin? Is it Pearson or Spearman? Are we going to use Pearson? Pearson pa rin ba? Or Spearman's na? So dahil yung p-value, very good. From the comment section, Spearman na ang gagamitin natin, no? Kasi yung isang variable natin ay hindi na normally distributed. So with that, punta ulit tayo sa analysis. Regression ulit, no? Regression. Correlation matrix. Kagaya kanina. So we have here yung variables na involved, titest ang relationship nila, ipasok lang natin. And instead na Pearson ang i-check, ang i-check natin ay Spearman. Okay? Spearman's law. And then, we may check yung N, no, para malaman yung dami ng respondents or participants. Okay? So kung ma-observe natin here, our p-value is 0.007. No? Greater than ba siya or less than? And our Spearman's raw value, the correlation coefficient here is negative 0.485. Okay? So, screenshot ulit natin. No? I-interpret natin yung result. Balik tayo sa ating presentation. So, ito yung result, no? We have p-value 0.007, less than or greater than 0.05, less than pa rin, no? So, less than pa rin. With that, we are going to reject the null hypothesis again. So, meaning, there is or there is no. The answer is, there is significant relationship. But, kung ma-observe natin, yung correlation coefficient is 0.48, negative 0.485. Dito pala dapat yon, nagkabaliktad. So, therefore, tama ba to? Strong positive? Ano dapat? Strong positive pa rin ba? Ano ba dapat? So, hindi na strong positive, no? Ano na siya? Magiging moderate negative. Very good. No? From comment section. Magiging moderate negative. So, pa-take note po, it should be moderate. Ang hirap mag-annotate, no? Moderate negative. Yan. So, moderate negative or moderately negative correlation. Pag negative, kung naalala natin kanina, habang tumataas yung isang variable, yung kabilang variable ay bumababa. So sa context natin, sa context nito, we can say that there is a significant relationship. However, the relationship is moderately negative. Meaning, habang bumababa yung isang variable or yung stress nila ay bumababa, yung sleep hours nila or let's say yung sleep hours nila ay bumababa, yung stress nila ay tumataas. No? And vice versa. Kapag tumaas yung sleep hours, bababa naman yung stress score nila or yung stress nila. Okay? So let us have another example, no? The null hypothesis here is there is no significant relationship between senior high school students' sex and preferred learning style. What are we going to use here? Ano ang gagamitin natin? Statistical test. Sige, anyone from the comment section. What statistical test are we going to use? Should we use Pearson? Gagamit pa rin ba tayo ng Pearson? Or Spearman's? Okay, eta correlation. Okay, thank you. Pero hindi po eta correlation ang gagamitin natin kasi kung ma-observe ninyo, our variables here is sex, no? Sex and learning style. So sex is categorical, tama naman, no? Dalawa nga naman, male and female. Pero yung learning style is not continuous, no? Categorical variable din siya. So ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin natin instead of eta correlation, we can consider na chi-square test ang gamitin. So ang gagamitin natin to test this hypothesis is chi-square test. Okay? So chi-square test, punta tayo sa ating third dataset para dun sa mga nagna-navigate din ng Jamovi. You may access yung ating dataset, no? Ang gagamitin na natin ngayon ay yung example number 3. Punta tayo sa example number 3. We have sex and learning style. Okay. So yan, we have sex and learning style. Yan. Okay. So with this, do we have to perform normality test pa rin ba? Do we have to perform normality test? Is it yes or no? Kailangan pa ba natin mag-test ng normality? Yes or no? Anyone from the comment section? No, very good. Hindi na natin kailangan mag-test ng normality, no? Kasi tinitest lang ang normality kung yung variable na involved ay parehas continuous. Parehas silang continuous, no? Doon lang tayo may dilemma whether parametric or non-parametric yung gagamitin. Pero sa ibang cases, hindi na tayo kailangan mag-test ng normality. Okay? So, no need to test the normality. Diretso tayo sa pag-perform ng chi-square. Ano ang gagawin? Analysis. Analysis ulit. Frequencies. No? Sa baba ng frequencies, we have independent samples or the chi-square test of association. So, click mo lang yan. Okay. Ma-observe natin na meron tayong rows and columns here kasi gagawa tayo ng tinatawag na contingency table or cross-tabulation. No? So, alin po ang ilalagay sa row, ano ang ilalagay sa column, kahit alin. No? Wala siyang problem kung alin ang ilalagay natin sa row or column. Pero I suggest kung ano yung may mababa na dami ng dami ng categories, yun ang ilagay natin sa column. Para pag nag-report tayo sa manuscript natin, hindi ganun kalapad yung magiging table natin. Okay? So dito, yung sex, yung dalawa lang yung categories, no? So pwede natin siyang ilagay sa column. Pero sabi natin kanina, pwede nga mabaliktad, na wala namang case or wala namang problem kung mabaliktad siya. Then yung learning style, meron siyang tatlo, no? Tatlo na categories. So lagay natin siya sa rows. Okay. So magra-run yung result, magra-run yung chi-square and then lalabas yung results. Okay? So observe natin, we have the p-value. Yun yung una nating titignan, di ba? Yung p-value. Since the p-value is less than 0.05, our alpha level, so what will be the result? Anong result? There is no or there is? Sige nga, tingnan nga natin mabilis ang ano lang. There is no or there is? Anyone sa comment section? There is no or there is. Our p-value here is less than 0.05. No, kasi yun yung alpha level natin. What will be the result? There is no or there is. Okay, very good, no? There is, no? From comment section, ang sabi ay there is. No, thank you. Tama po yun. There is significant relationship between learning style and the sex of the students, okay? At dahil, sabi natin kanina, no, if we are performing chi-square test at nakita natin na may significant yung result, no, there is a significant relationship, we have to run the post-hoc test. Naalala nyo kanina yung phi coefficient and Cramer's V? no? So anong ipe-perform natin dahil nakita natin na may significant relationship? Ano ang ipe-perform natin? Phi coefficient or Cramer's V? Sige nga. Anyone sa comment section? Phi or Cramer's? Actually, nandito na siya, oh. Phi or Cramer's. So, ano ang nire-run natin? Phi or Cramer's? Phi kapag 2 by 2, meaning yung isang variable ay dalawang category, yung isa ay dalawa din. Para silang dalawa. Okay, phi. Hindi po, no? Bakit? Kasi yung sex, dalawang categories, tama na siya actually. Pero yung learning style kasi ay hindi dalawa. Nag-greater than 2 siya. Meron tayong tatlo dito, no? Na categories. So therefore, we are going to check this one. Lalabas yung result. And automatically, mag-error yung phi coefficient. No, mag-error po yan. Kasi nga, nag 2 by 3 na tayo. Or let's say 3 by 2, no? 3 by 2 yung ginawa nating contingency table. So Cramer's V yung lalabas na result kasi yun yung applicable for this particular assumption. Okay? So tingnan yung p-value which is 0.0 less than 0.001. Tingnan yung Cramer's V value, yan yung i-consider natin ngayon na correlation coefficient, no? Para malaman yung strength and degree. Direction, sorry. Strength and direction ng ating relationship. So with this, we have 0.839. Sige, labasan ulit natin. Pasok ulit tayo dun sa ating analysis. Okay. So, screenshot natin yung results. Ito yung mga results natin. So, ang tawag po dito ay contingency table or cross tabulation, no? Sobrang importante niya, kasama siya sa nire-report sa manuscript. Okay? Kasi dito natin makikita yung behavior ng correlation. Kasi nga 'di ba, categorical yung variables na meron tayo, unlike sa continuous na naipa-plot siya. Makakakita tayo ng linear correlation, no? Positive kung ganyan ng ang behavior, and then kung ganito naman ang behavior ay negative. Pero sa case natin, since categorical variable, we have to observe. Ang ma-observe lang natin dito ay yung tinatawag na contingency table or cross tabulation, no? So dahil may relationship based sa p-value, ano ang pwede nating maging mag-conclusion, no? Makikita natin na yung mga male respondents, most of them are visual learners, no? At yung mga female naman, most of them ay kinesthetic learners. So yun yung pwede nating gawing conclusion here based dun sa cross tabulation. No? So habang mga lalaki or yung mga lalaki ay visual learners, ang mga babae naman, most of them ay kinesthetic learners. Yun yung sinasabi ng correlation between sex and learning style. Okay? So we have strong positive correlation with that. Okay? So habang mga nagiging lalaki, mas nagiging visual, at kapag babae, mas nagiging kinesthetic. So yun yung pwede natin maging conclusion. Okay? Let us now proceed to our last, no? Yan, last example na tayo. Our hypothesis here is, or null hypothesis here is, there is no significant relationship between air pollution index levels and public health risk levels in selected cities in Mega Manila with a given alpha level 0.05 or 5%. Anong statistical test kaya ang gagamitin natin to test this hypothesis? Anyone? Sa comment section. Anong statistical test ang gagamitin natin? Chi-square pa rin ba? Or babalikan natin yung Pearson R or Spearman's Rho? Any guess? Levels na yung pinag-uusapan natin, no? Dalawang variables na pare-parehas levels. So ano na ang gagamitin natin to test the hypothesis? Anyone? Anyone from non-STEM? Yan, marami ito sa non-STEM eh. Fumes, ABM and gas. Anyone? Chi-square pa rin ba ang gagamitin? Okay, very good. So at this particular point, we are going to use Kendall's Tau. Yan, from the comment section. May nag-comment ng Kendall's Tau. So Kendall's Tau na ang gagamitin natin. No? Yan, Kendall's Tau. Okay. So let us now proceed to our fourth example. Para sa mga nagna-navigate din, you may access yung ating dataset. Buksan nyo lang yung example number 4, PPI and public health risk level. Okay, proceed tayo sa Jamovie. Yan. Okay. So we have here 3 columns, no? Na-observe nyo sa Jamovie, no? Na most of the time, kung ano lang yung variables na involved, yun lang yung nakalagay, di ba? Kasi nga naalala nyo, nung nakaraang week, ino-organize na natin yung data using Excel. Para pagdating sa Jamovie, hindi na maraming data yung nandito or wala nang masyadong variables na nandito. Para tayo rin, hindi tayo confused, no? Once na nagrara na tayo ng analysis. So kung ano lang yung involved na variable, yun lang ilalagay natin. So kung ma-observe ninyo, we have observation number kasi nga hindi na ito respondents, no? Kumbaga sa mga cities na sila nag-gather ng data. And then yung API, naka-ordinal na siya, ordinal na yung kanyang nature. And then 1 meaning low level, 2 meaning moderate level, 3 means high level, and then 4 means severe level yung kanyang air pollution index, no? Yun yung kanyang labeling. So 1 is low and then 4 is severe. Sa public health risk level naman, we have 4 levels then. 1 is low, 2 is moderate, 3 means high, and then 4 severe. So same. Okay. So what are we going to do here is to analyze the Kendall's Tau. So may dalawang paraan to assess the Kendall's Tau. We can use the correlation matrix yung kagaya kanina. Pero dahil malapit-lapit na sa categorical variable, no, we have to use the you call this one, the cross tabulation yung kagaya kanina sa chi-square. So ulit, analysis, frequencies, independent samples. Click lang natin yan. Tapos maglalagay tayo ng isa sa row, isa sa column. Pwede silang magkabaliktad kagaya rin ng sa chi-square. So isa sa row, isa sa column. Tapos punta tayo sa statistics. Pwedeng hindi na natin gamitin yung chi-square kasi we're not going to use chi-square anymore here. What are we going to use is Kendall's Tau B. Here. Kendall's Tau. Okay? So check natin yung Kendall's Tau and bibigyan niya na tayo ng p-value and also correlation coefficient. No? So p-value and correlation coefficient. So yun lang. Screenshot ulit natin yan. Then proceed tayo sa interpretation nung results. Okay, so we have here the screenshot. We have the cross tabulation. Sabi natin magagamit natin yan, no, sa mga ganitong klaseng variables na categorical variables. We also have the p-value, which is less than 0.05. So meaning we have to reject null hypothesis. Okay? And then we have the correlation coefficient, which means that we have strong positive correlation dito sa case natin. So ano ang ibig sabihin? Punta sa cross tabulation pag nakitaan natin ng significant relationship. So, ayan. Habang bumababa yung air pollution index, mas bumababa rin yung public health risk. No? At habang tumataas yan, tumataas din yung kabilang variable. So ito yung pinaka-implication ng ating statistical analysis results. Okay? Okay. So yun yun, no? If there are some inquiries or questions, you may ask us, no, kung ano pa yung mga, like for example, yung point by serial, and how are you going to present this, or are you going to report this using APA 7 pagdating na sa manuscript. So we are going to have siguro another discussion or discussions of that sa mga consultations natin, no. So yun. So that concludes our discussion for today. We are going to have our question and answer part. If you have questions, no, pwede kayong mag-chat sa ating chat section, or you may raise your hand. Sige. Punta lang sa, ask lang sa comment section if you have any questions. Yung presentation ay wala sa sinend ko. Wala ba? Wait lang Let me check. Wait lang, wait lang. Wait lang, let me check wait. Sige, siguro mali ako na QR code. Sige, I'm going to paste the link here sa comment, sa chat section. Para you have the access na dun sa episode 1 saka episode 2 ng mga files. Okay, any question? Any question pa? Okay na-access nyo na yung ginamit natin na materials today. I think okay na, no? Pinupusuan na yung link. Yes. Okay, I think wala na sigurong question, no? So before we conclude, before we end, I want you to scan once again a QR code. Marami lang tayong QR code ngayon. So, scan ulit ng QR code for your attendance. This is a separate attendance sheet, no, dun sa una. So, make sure na ma-scan nyo to and makapag-sagot kayo, makapag-answer kayo ng survey. Post-survey.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yes, Sid.
I need access.
Hindi pa siya open access.
It said I need access. Yeah. I need to request access from you or something.
I think you have to use your FEU Alabang account.
I did use my account, my school account,
Okay.
and I'm still given the same message.
Okay, sige. Ayusin natin. Let me know if okay na, ha?
Let me restart.
I-refresh nyo lang.
Nah, still not working.
Wait lang. Wait lang, ha? Sir Lem? Please still hear you, Sir Lem? Sige, screenshot nyo na lang muna, no? Or mag-take muna kayo ng photo dun sa QR code. Then, kahit mamaya na kayo mag-answer ng post survey for your attendance. Sige, ayusin muna namin. So, we're going to give you an update kapag okay na siya.
Sige, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. So, I think we are done now. This concludes our research colloquium, no? So, we are going to have another, ilan pa? Tatlong episodes pa ng research colloquium. So, I hope magkita-kita ulit tayo doon. And, yes. Thank you. You may now
Thank you,
leave, everyone.
Salamat po.
Okay.
Bye, sir. Thank you po.
Sir?
Yes, yes.
Ayaw po gumana yung link po sa akin or it keeps on saying na access denied po. Even if
Yes. Oo, inaayos pa namin siya, no?
okay po. So, isa na lang po pagtapos po.
Tapos magse-send na lang kami sa mga GCs ninyo ng another link.
Sige po.
Sa
Sige po. Thank you po.